Hello everyone, it's me, it's Max! Today, we're going to talk about Brainscan, but first, I want to give you guys my history with the film. Okay, so, it all started after I had just watched Killjoy Free and Killjoy Goes to Hell. Yeah.
I'm Killjoy!
You sure are. I liked those movies, they were actually kind of funny. The only reason I was watching Killjoy to begin with was because I was looking through the DeviantArt Death Battle community, and I found a bio on Killjoy made by the Bio Vending Machine, although I know him better as Mr. Pepsi and Pizza. Anyways, I was in a call with my friends, but it was a bit droll, so I humored myself while looking at the bio, and I enjoyed learning the abilities and powers of this goofy-ass clown, until I got to the comments section and noticed some guy whose name I can't pronounce gave a bunch of ideas for who Killjoy could fight. At the very bottom, I saw the name Trickster from Brainscan. I was like, what the hell is Brainscan? Who's the Trickster? I looked him up on the villain's wiki page, and then I just started quoting the Trickster out loud to my friends, much to their utter confusion. I eventually went to the Tropes wiki page on Brainscan, and began talking as if I were an expert on the film. Sure enough, it turned into a bit of an inside joke between me, Ducko, and Ribbit, who you may remember from our ongoing Best Versus movie series, or his own channel. We eventually watched an actual clip from the movie where the Trickster screamed and started to dance. And we had ourselves a little bit of a riot over it. Seriously, we can make jokes out of the most mundane shit and get laughs out of it. Anyways, despite our belief that the movie was way funnier out of context, I eventually buckled down and watched it. So, I'm gonna review Brainscan now. The movie begins with weird flashbacks about a hospital and a car wreck, until our protagonist Michael wakes up. Oh, he's played by Edward Furlong, the Terminator 2 kid, which is a big plus. Anyhow, he lives basically alone in his father's mansion since he's so busy with work, and his mother died in the car wreck he was having flashbacks about. So, he wakes up from his little nightmare and goes on to spy on the girl he has a crush on through her window as he watches her undress. What a lovable protagonist! I don't know why they thought it would be a good idea to have our hero do this. Maybe in 1994 this wasn't too big a deal? Maybe? Scratch that, they probably just wanted to show off this girl they hired. Looks like the girl saw Michael and knew he was watching. I guess that's how they get their rocks off in the 90s. Anyways, Michael's friend Kyle tells him about Brainscan, an interactive hyper-realistic video game that he should totally check out, man! That's the gist of how Kyle talks in this movie. Anyways, Michael calls the fellas at Brainscan, and the guy on the phone pretty much sells him on it when he gives him a chair seizure. That wouldn't sell me on it! How did they even do that? How far into the future is this movie? Apparently far enough that people on the phone can electrocute you from inside your own home. Well, luckily for our anonymous caller, Michael is a masochist who likes pain, since he proceeds to order the game. The next day at school, we see Michael's horror club gets taken down by the principal because, well, he's an asshole. That's unfortunate for Michael, but boy oh boy, his game has arrived! But oh man, the girl he likes is having a party tonight. He has to choose, video games or real life. Video games it is! Despite his friend telling him he ought to go talk to the girl before some jock wins her over. Michael decides that Brainscan is just too alluring to pass up tonight, and activates the game. As it turns out, the sort of ringmaster of this game is called the Trickster, who tells Michael that the game is basically going to read his mind and make a scary game around that. So apparently in this future we have mind-reading technology. Again, seems risky to have in the future, and it seems like people would actually use it for nefarious purposes other than setting up a spooky video game, but who cares? Michael boots up the game, and is put into the perspective of a killer with a time limit to kill some dude. Michael does a horrible job. Even though the Trickster guides him through the thing, he makes a big mess of the place even though he shouldn't be leaving any evidence, and yet the Trickster praises him for a job well done. Michael is pretty psyched out about the game and tells his pal Kyle about it, but when Kyle wants to borrow it, Michael won't let him. My game! Mine! How old is Michael supposed to be anyways? Michael almost goes to ask the girl he likes out until he figures out that the guy he killed in the game died last night while watching the news. If you die in the game, you die in real life! Oh man, oh jeez! Michael, you idiot! Why didn't you clean up the evidence? This is kinda sorta online mixed with Nightmare on Elm Street, I guess. though I don't think SAO was out by the time this was made. So maybe SAO was just an anime brain scam. Kirito should have fought the Trickster. So, Michael figures out that he basically killed the guy when he finds the dude's cut off foot in his own refrigerator. When he calls up Brainscan again, the Trickster climbs on out of his TV and confronts Michael. I'll mention this now. The Trickster is definitely the best part of this movie. His personality is actually pretty fun, and the actor playing him really puts his all into this performance.
Michael, don't you have anything good?
Don't you fucking judge my taste in music! Okay, so, the Trickster takes out his own CD and plays some music that he screeches to. I guess he really likes it. This is the scene that me and my friends made fun of, and I will say that it is objectively a bit silly, but in a fun way. The Trickster's fun.
It wasn't supposed to be real!
Real, unreal, what's the difference? So long as you don't get caught.
What? That doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't have to make sense.
Fair enough, I guess. Anyways, after electrocuting himself, breaking his own fingers, and jamming his fingers into his eyes, the Trickster finally lets Michael know that there was a witness to the murder, and he's gotta take care of that. Initially, Michael doesn't want to kill anymore, but the Trickster convinces him. So, Michael plays the second disc of the game, but instead of actually getting to play anything, he just blacks out and wakes up in the aftermath. What a ripoff! Michael thinks he's taking care of the witness, but as it turns out, the witness was his friend Kyle! Now he's dead! Trickster, you tricked me! Who could have foresaw this? Now Michael's got the police on his ass since Kyle was his best friend and now he's dead. Plus, Michael's been skipping school lately. This is just digging Michael a bigger hole. Trickster, you big meanie, you lied to me!
Kyle was my only friend!
You pissed him off! Nice going, Michael.
So again, the Trickster tells Michael that there's some evidence he left behind, and that he needs to go get rid of it. This is a pretty good method of making people buy DLC, I'll give him that. Now, it seems like the Trickster actually wants to help Michael to get away with the murder, and so he gives him some advice.
Don't answer that. Hello? I'm Lieutenant Hayden.
Damn it, Michael! Listen to the Trickster! Does he seem like the kind of guy who would trick you? Wait. Well, Michael acts suspicious when the police talk with him, so things only get worse for him thanks to that. So, Michael goes back to the Trickster and tries to beat him up, but John Connor is no match for the Tricksternator, and he manages to make Michael bleed the fur disc.
Play it, Michael. Or forget all this. Join your mother. Take your own life. You've thought of it many times before. You could be with her forever. You started this and now you're afraid to finish it just like you're afraid of everything else. Of Kimberly, of Fromberg, of telling your father how sick you are being left alone all the time, of your mother who abandoned you. I'm trying to help you, but you won't let me.
Now here's a part where I actually felt kind of bad for Michael. Apparently he's thought about killing himself and is sick of being all alone since his dad is so busy and his mom is dead. It actually kind of works towards making Michael sympathetic, even though he's making some stupid mistakes. Who wouldn't be under this much pressure if they thought they killed someone? Anyways, Michael agrees to dispose of the evidence as long as there's no killing involved. Of course! No killing! Scout's honor! If there's one man you can trust and depend on, it's the Trickster.
Police officer.
Oops. Well, that guy who got shot, people think he's the one doing all the murders for no reason whatsoever. But that apparently gets people off Michael's case long enough for him to make it home. But oh no! The girl he likes saw him come home late at night. She's a witness!
Michael!
The Trickster yet again convinces Michael to take action, and he goes to her house at nighttime, but decides he can't bring himself to kill her and tries to fight the Trickster himself. It is here that the Trickster reveals that he's actually Michael's dark side. And his dark side is an older man with goofy hair and a nose piercing. Checks out. Michael tries to fight the Trickster, but he sort of just phases into him for a bit until the Trickster vores Michael alive. Kimberly wakes up and sees the whole thing go down and freaks out. Oh, and one of the police guys still thinks Michael did it, and he follows Michael to Kimberly's house. All sorts of shit is going on now, and it appears that the Trickster possessed Michael when he ate him. What? So it looks like Michael's about to kill Kimberly, until she proves that she loves him by revealing that, she takes pictures of him while he's not looking too? So they're both kinda creeps then, go figure. That seems to win over Michael and he refuses to kill her, and the Trickster leaves his body. It seems like Michael has defeated the Trickster, but that police officer runs into the room and then well, he kind of just shoots Michael. Man, dude, you didn't even read him his rights. But it's okay, because actually this is all just a game. All of it. When he first played the game, he never stopped. And when he wakes up, Kimberly's party is still going on. So, nobody got killed. Yay! Michael decides to go to Kimberly's party to ask her if she wants to go out sometime, and she says, "I'll think about it." Oof. Well, shit, that ain't gonna stop Michael from taking it as a yes. Does this mean she doesn't actually love him like the game said? Well, the game was based on Michael's mind, so he could have just thought that she liked him. Although, maybe she actually does like him since, well, she decides to kiss Michael goodnight. Then what was that fake out where she said she'll think about it? Why not just have her say yes if she's gonna kiss him? Oh well, doesn't matter. Things are looking up for Michael. The next day, he goes to school and gives his principal brain scan, since he demanded to review all games and movies before allowing them to be played in the horror club. Then we see the Trickster! Oh man, he's gonna scare the principal now! That's where the movie ends, and I gotta say, this movie...
Wait a minute. Haven't you forgotten something?
What? I don't think so. Okay. What does that mean? The dog has a foot? What a way to end the movie, am I right? Okay, so obviously this film is flawed. I know that. But for a kind of cheesy 90s movie, I think it's actually pretty entertaining at times. Mostly when the Trickster is on screen. T. Ryder Smith did a really good job of him, and I tend to like supernatural wisecrackers. But even aside from that, I like the concept of a virtual reality game that actually kills people. It's good for a horror movie plot, and I think this movie, in spite of its character flaws and sometimes odd pacing, managed to make the concept work in an entertaining way. The movie can pull off emotional moments, I think, which is more than I can say for a lot of other weird horror movies like Killjoy, Ginger Dead Man, and shit like that. Specifically with the main kid who lost his mom. I actually felt kinda happy when he and the girl decided they might start dating. So, this movie's got that going for it, and I like the atmosphere, so I'd probably watch this movie again sometime. It's strange to me that this started as a joke and became a movie that I genuinely liked, but I'd say it's a pleasant surprise. If watching my review got you interested in it, go ahead and watch Brainscan for yourself. You may like it, or maybe you won't. Who cares? This is my review. Play me out, Trickster!
Shots for the night, stick around and take a bite of life. We don't need people. This is proximity.